वाचमिमां प्रसुप्तां सञ्जीवयत्यखिलशक्तिधरस्वधाम्ना अन्यांश्च हस्तचरणश्रवणत्वगादीन् प्राणान् नमो भगवते पुरुषाय तुभ्यम्। नमः सर्वेभ्यः। चतुर्थः पाठः अद्य मङ्गलं पठामः। प्रथमं श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानामालयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादशङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। So, the last class we covered 4 shlokas. So, I think it was a lot. So this class I have ensured that we will do only 3 shlokas. Okay. So it was a request in the last class as well. So let us just see and just go through the previous 4 shlokas and do a punaravartana. गिरौ मन्निवासे नरा येधिरूढाः तदा पर्वते राजते तेधिरूढाः इतीव ब्रुवन् गन्धशैलाधिरूढः स देवो मुदे मे सदा षण्मुखोऽस्तु। सः षण्मुखः देवः, that Subramanya Shanmukha. So let him be there for my ananda. Saha devaha me mude astu. Saha katham vartate? Saha gandhashailadhirudhaha. So he is sitting on Gandhamadana Parvata. Gandhashailadhirudhaha. He has climbed onto it, and it looks as though he is telling his bhaktas that the ones who have climbed my hill, they have climbed the very Kailasa. They need not go to Kailasa separately. By coming to my abode, they will reach Shiva's abode as well. Shiva Padavi is nothing but coming to my abode. I will ensure that they attain Shiva Padavi. That is what he seems to be suggesting, is what Acharya says in this shloka. We saw that. And then the next one was महाम्भोधितीरे महापापचोरे मुनीन्द्रानुकूले सुगन्धाख्यशैले गुहायां वसन्तं स्वभासालसन्तं जनार्तिं हरन्तं श्रयामो गुहंतं. So we take refuge in गुहा. श्रयामः इत्युक्ते आश्रयामः इत्यर्थः. तं गुहं श्रयामः. सः पुनः कीदृशः इत्युक्ते सः जनानाम् आर्तिं हरति. आर्ति इत्युक्ते मनोव्यथा इत्यपि दृष्टम् अस्माभिः पूर्वकक्ष्यायां. जनार्तिं हरन्तं, the one who is destroying the arti, manovyethas of his bhaktas. Such a guha I take refuge in. And where is he? He is residing in a guha. Guhayam vasantam. We also saw that it was not just a physical guha, but as well the one who is residing in our hearts. That is why he is called guha. Guhayam vasantam swabhasalasantam, and he is self-effulgent. We don't need any other source to realize his presence. Okay, so he is self-effulgent. Swabhasalasantam. And then where is he? Sugandhakhya shailehe. He is there in Gandhamadana Parvata. And how is that Parvata? It is Munindra Anukula. So it is very, very conducive for tapasya to be performed by sages. Munindra Anukule. And where is it? It is on the shore, okay, banks of the ocean. Mahambodhi tire. And how is it? Mahapapa chore. So it is stealing away all our, not just ordinary papas, but mahapapas. It is able, so such a sacred place it is that it is stealing away all our papas. So such a place is Sugandhakhya Shaila, and in that Sugandha Shaila, in a guha, this guha is residing. Such a guha I take refuge in. Okay. And then the next one was लसत् स्वर्णगेहे नृणां कामदोहे सुमस्तोम संचन्न माणिक्यमञ्चे समुद्यत् सहस्रार्कतुल्यप्रकाशं सदा भावये कार्तिकेयं सुरेशं. So now he uses a different pada to refer to Subramanya. He has been saying
Bhagini, this is the new verse, right?
No, this is not the new verse. It
Old
is
verse.
the Punaravartana that is going on.
Right.
Okay.
Sorry to interrupt.
Astu. So Where is Subramanya seated? He is on a Manikya mancha. Manikya we saw was ruby, right? And how is it? It is decorated by Suma, Pushpani. Pushpa Gucha Sanchana. Stoma means bunch, right? We saw all that. So, Suma Stoma Sanchana. So there is a Manikya mancha which has been decorated by flowers, okay, bunch of flowers, and it is there inside a Swarna Geha, a golden mandapa. Okay, and how is that? It is Dranam Kamadoha. It is like a patra wherein you can milk all the kamas. Okay, milk all the kamas means what? So it is a place where all your wishes will be fulfilled. In such a place he is residing. And how is he? He is Samudyat Sahasrarka Tulya Prakasham. He is shining like 1,000 suns. Sahasra Arka Tulya Prakasham. He has that kind of a glow, a radiance, which is like 1,000 suns. Okay, such a Kartikeya. Okay, and Suresha, the one who is the Ishvara for the Devas, who was the Senadhipati. So that is why he is called Suresha. We saw this as well, right? And then Aparopi Shlokaha Drishtaha. Pranadhamsake Manjuletyanta Shone Manohari Lavanya Piyusha Purune Manashatpadome Bhavaklesha Taptaha Sada Modatam Skanda Te Padapadme. So we saw this shloka as an udaharana for a beautiful Rupaka Alankara, right? So where he says this Pada Padma, okay, so your feet are not like lotus, but they are that itself is the lotus, okay? That is what is the difference between Rupaka and Upama. We saw that, right? So Pada Padma, so this very lotus feet, okay? So let my mind ever rejoice in your lotus feet. And how is this mind? What is this mind? This mind is a bee, okay? Manas Shatpadaha. The bee that is my mind, let it always rejoice in the lotus that is your feet. Okay. And how is this bee? Manas Shatpadaha me bhava klesha taptaha bhava eva kleshaha bhava kleshaha iti vigraha. Okay. So there is no klesha because of bhava. Bhava itself is klesha. Samsara itself is dukkha. Okay. Because of that dukkha, it is tapta. It is burning because of that. Okay. Sachamanaha, okay, let it always rejoice in your Pada Padma. And how is that Pada Padma? The lotus which is your feet, it is Ranat Hamsaka, it is Manjula, Atyanta Shona. Okay, Ranat Hamsaka means what? So it is that which is surrounded by Hamsa Pakshis that are making noise. Okay, so this, okay, Ranat Hamsake. Manjule, they are very soft, the 2 feet, they are very soft, and then they are Atyanta Shona, they are very, very red, they have a reddish hue. Okay, and then Manohari Lavanya, so it has got a beauty which is stealing my heart. Manohari Lavanya, that itself is Piyusha. Piyusha is nectar, Amrita. Okay, so the Lavanya, the beauty itself is the nectar. Okay, and that beauty is Manohari, it is stealing my heart. So it is, the 2 feet are full of nectar, which is beauty, which is stealing my heart. So such a Pada Padma of yours, O Skanda, may my mind rejoice in it. Okay. So we also saw that it can, because it is a Rupaka, all the Visheshanas will go to Pada also and Padma also. For example, Ranat Hamsaka. Okay. So a lotus is also surrounded by, you can imagine a lotus which will be surrounded by Hamsas that are making some noise. Okay, you can also imagine a Pada, okay, the 2 feet of Skanda that are surrounded by Ranat Hamsaka, where Hamsa will refer to Paramahamsas, Jivan Muktas. Okay, they are also making noise, making sound, in the sense they are singing the praises of Subramanya. So in that sense, Ranat Hamsaka, this Visheshana will go to both Pada and Padma. Similarly, Manjula, lotus is also soft, feet will also be soft, right? And then Atyanta Shona, both of them can be red hued, right? And then both can be extremely beautiful. Manohari Lavanya Piyusha Purana will also go for will also be, and can also be imagined for both the feet of the Lord and the lotus, right? This is what we saw the other day, but then I forgot another aspect that I wanted to mention in the shloka, but I had forgotten. See, mana shatpadaha. So he says that here shatpada refers to a bee. Okay, but it can also be interpreted this way, wherein mana has 6 qualities. Okay, so the mind which has these 6 qualities alone will be able to rejoice in the feet of the Lord. Okay, not an ordinary mind. Okay, this is just an extended idea. Okay, from Manas Shatpadaha, which I read elsewhere. I wanted to share, but I had forgotten. So this being the work of Adi Shankara, so this is we can relate this to an idea in Advaita. Okay, so in Advaita, for a person to be initiated into Vedanta Shastra, it is said, it is expected out of him to have 4 qualities. Okay, it is called Sadhana Chatushtaya. Okay, so he is supposed to have these 4 qualities. Only then he is eligible for the study of Advaita. What are those 4 qualities? Viveka, Vairagya, and then Shamadhi Shatka Sampatti and Mumukshutva. Viveka, the ability to discriminate between what is right and what is wrong, that is viveka. Then vairagya, detachment, and then shatka sampatti, 6 qualities that are needed, okay, for the mind, okay, and then mumukshutva, one should be interested in liberation. Okay, these are the 4 qualities, and these 6 qualities of the mind, they are referred to as Shatka Sampatti. And here, when Acharya is referring to Manas Shatpadaha, Shatpada can refer to a bee, and it can also refer to a mind that possesses these 6 qualities. Because without these 6 qualities, the mind will not be able to rejoice in the feet of Shanmukha at all. Okay. So what are those 6 qualities? I will just mention them. They are Shama, Dama, Uparati, Titiksha, Shraddha, and Samadhanam. So Shama is Mano Nigraha. Okay, control of the mind is called Shama. Okay, Dama is Bahyendriya Nigraha. Okay, so the control of external sense organs. Okay, that is called Dama. And then we have Uparati. Uparati is I can translate it as withdrawal, maybe withdrawal from enjoyment. Okay, so the pleasures that we the pleasures that we enjoy, okay, that we derive from sense organs. Okay, so we indulge in various kinds of pleasurable activities, right? The attitude to say that, okay, it is enough, I don't derive joy from this anymore, I know that these are limited. Okay, such a bhavana is called uparati. You withdraw. Okay. Then the next one is titiksha. It is a very, very important quality. Titiksha is forbearance. Okay, how much ever dukkha we get, okay, you will have to forbear it. Okay, you will have to bear it. Okay, that is called titiksha. And the next one is shraddha. Okay, shraddha. In Shastra and Guru Vachana, we are supposed to have shraddha. Okay, and shraddha can often be translated as faith, but it is not entirely true. Because in the sense that we use faith today, it is not absolute belief, okay, wherein you just have to believe something without questioning it. No, that is not shraddha. Okay, if that were shraddha, Krishna would not say in Gita that you can go to your Acharya, tadvidhi pranipatena pariprashnena sevaya. He says that you have to go seek an Acharya and then prostrate before him and then get your doubts clarified from him and then do seva. He says that is a superficial meaning. I'm not going into the details. I just wanted to say that Shraddha is not just faith. Okay. Then what is it? We can say that, we can to an extent say that it is not questioning, but it is to an extent openness to listen to what your Acharya is saying. Okay, and this is not the scientific method today. Okay, in scientific method, what do? You suppose you make a claim. Okay, what we have to do is we have to provide proof for it. Okay, so the onus of proving a fact lies in the person who is making that claim. Okay, Shraddha does not work like that. You cannot go and ask your Acharya, first to prove it to me, then I will believe whatever you are saying. No, we don't work like that. We need to first listen to whatever our Acharya is saying and or Shastra is saying, be open for that possibility. And then we can ask all sorts of questions and get our doubts clarified. That is allowed. Okay, that is what is Shraddha. Okay, so doubt clarification or any kind of clarification that you want to do from your Acharya or Shastra. Of course, Shastra, by self-study, we will not get anything. So we need to have an Acharya, and from that Acharya, we have to get all our doubts clarified. Otherwise, there is no scope for progress at all. That is why manana is very important, wherein you get your doubts clarified from Acharya. So you do, you think of whatever you have learned repeatedly and try to understand if it fits, if everything fits logically, etc., and then get your doubts clarified. But then you need to first listen to him. He will not come and write a paper for you and prove that he has actually found out the right thing, etc. That will not happen. That is what is referred to as Shraddha, but not just unflinching faith in something that is very random. It is not like that. Okay. So Shraddha is a very, very important quality for the Manaha. And then there is Samadhanam, which can be translated as focus. Okay. So a Mana which has these 6 qualities. Manas Shatpadaha means the mind that has these 6 qualities, but still having these 6 qualities will not relieve me of the pain that is samsara. Okay, it still has to go and find joy only in your lotus feet. That is why Manas Shatpadaha me bhavaklesha taptaha sada te padapadme he skanda modatam ityarthaha. I hope this is clear. Did not want to get into too much, but then I saw this somewhere, so I wanted to share. We can go to the next shloka today. Varun Mahodaya अस्ति वा?
आम् अहमस्मि।
सुवर्णाभदिव्याम्बरैर्भासमानाम्
सुवर्णाभदिव्याम्बरैर्भासमानाम्
क्वणत्किङ्किणीमेखलाशोभमानाम् लसद्धेमपट्टेन विद्योतमानाम् कटिं भावये स्कन्दते दीप्यमानाम्
कटिं भावये स्कन्दते दीप्यमानाम् कटिं भावये स्कन्दते दीप्यमानाम्
सुवर्णाभदिव्याम्बरैर्भासमानाम्
सुवर्णाभदिव्याम्बरैर्भासमानाम् सुवर्णाभदिव्याम्बरैर्भासमानाम्
क्वणत्किङ्किणीमेखलाशोभमानाम्
क्वणत्किङ्किणीमेखलाशोभमानाम्
लसद्धेमपट्टेन विद्योतमानाम्
लसद्धेमपट्टेन विद्योतमानाम्
कटिं भावये स्कन्दते दीप्यमानाम्
कटिं भावये स्कन्दते दीप्यमानाम् कटिं भावये स्कन्दते दीप्यमानाम्।
धन्यवादः। So here, so his Pada Padma was just described, right? Now he is going to describe and worship. Okay. Literally he says Katim Bhavai. I am going to worship or meditate upon your Kati alone. Kati is hip. Okay, hip portion is known as Kati. Now how is this Kati? Hey Skanda. I'm sorry, we will first do the Padacheda. Padachedam Pashyamaha. सुवर्ण आभ दिव्य अंबरैः भासमानां क्वणत् किङ्किणी मेखला शोभमानां लसत् हेमपट्टेन विद्योतमानां कटिं भावये स्कन्द ते दीप्यमाना. Okay. There are many paryaya padas in this verse. Okay. So, bhasamanam, deepyamanam, vidyotamanam, all of them more or less mean glowing, radiating, okay, so shining, okay, mean the same. He skanda te katim bhavaye. O skanda, okay, I meditate upon your kati, your hip portion. And how is your hip? Okay. Suvarnabh divyambaraihi bhasamanam katim. So all the three padas that are there, they are all visheshanas to kati. Okay, what are the visheshanas? Suvarnabh divyambarair bhasamanam katim, Kwanat kinkini mekhala shobhamanam katim, lasadhema pattena vidyotamanam deepyamanam cha. Okay, deepyamanam also. There are 4 visheshanas for kati. First, what is it? Suvarnabha divyambarehi bhasamana. Now it is shining. Your kati is shining, glowing. How? Ambarehi bhasamana. Ambara means cloth. Okay. This way you have a particular Jaina sect known as the Shwetambaras and the Digambaras. Right? Shwetambaras are the one who cloth in white. Okay. So they always wear only white clothes. That is why they are called as Shwetambaras. And Krishna is popularly referred to as a Pitambara because he has a yellow garment, Pitambara. So Ambara is cloth. Ambareihi bhasamana. So it is glowing because of Ambara. Now, why is it glowing because of Ambara? Because the Ambara has a golden hue. Suvarna Abha. Abha is look-alike. Okay, like resembling. It is resembling Suvarna. It's resembling Hema. Hema Abha. Okay. Hema Abha Divyambarehi. And it is not an ordinary Ambara, but it is a divine Ambara. Divyambara. Okay. And it is glowing. The Ambara itself seems to be made of gold. Okay. So it's like a golden color is coming, golden hue is emanating from it. So Suvarnabha Divyambarehi Bhasamanam. So your kati is glowing because of the golden hued cloth, okay, the vastra that you have tied in to your kati. Okay, because of that your kati itself is glowing. The ambara itself is glowing because it is Suvarna Abha Divyambara. Okay, it is resembling Suvarna, gold. Suvarna Abha Divyambarehi Bhasamanam Te Katim Bhavaye. Okay. Aparam Vishesha. Kwanat kinkini mekhala shobhamana. So it is shobhamana kati. So it is being beautiful. Okay? So it is emanating beauty. You see that it appears so beautiful. Now what is appearing beautiful? Mekhala shobhamana. So it is appearing beautiful because of the mekhala that is tied around the hip. Mekhala is a, I do not know how to call it. Do they call it as a hip belt in English? I don't know. In Tamil we say Uddiyanam. So Mekhala is Uddiyanam. Mekhala Shobhamana. It is beautiful because of the Mekhala that you have worn. And how is this Mekhala? Mekhala. It is Kinkini Mekhala. It has got bells. Okay. This Mekhala has got bells, and these bells are making sound. Kwanat, okay, it's like a ranat, okay, kwanat. So they are making sound. So kwana itself means sound. So kwanat, making sound. So these bells are there in the mekhala and they are making sound and they are so beautiful. This is beautiful. And then your ambara is also beautiful. Because of all these, kati is beautiful. And then lasat hemapattena vidyotamana. Vidyotamana, again, it is shining. Okay, vidyota, it comes from div dhatu. That itself means to shine. Now, and there is a hema patta that you have tied. Now, how do we split lasad hema? It is lasad hema patta. Lasad. Okay, it is there. It is beautifully there. Okay, so lasad hema patta. Lasat can also mean shining, glowing again. Okay. So Lasat Hema Patta. So there is a Hema Patta. There is a golden band sort of thing that he is wearing, okay, around his hip. So this is also there. So this is also shining. Lasat Hema Pattena Vidyotamanam, and because of that it is shining. And then overall Deepyamanam, it is glowing. Okay. Such a kati I meditate upon. So your kati is glowing too much, in fact, because it has got a Suvarna Ambara, and then there is a Mekhala which is again golden, and then there is a Hema Patta that you have tied. Because of this, too much of radiance is coming out of it, so brilliant. Okay. So that is so Deepyamana. Take katim bhavai and meditate upon that hip of yours, is what he says. Suvarna bhadivyambarehi bhasamana Vadat kinkini mekhala shobhamana lasat hemapattena vidyotamana deepyamana te katim he skanda aham bhavaye. In my heart, I think upon them. I think of them. Okay? I think of this, your hip. Okay, that alone I meditate upon. That alone is enough for me. Because every ango of yours is beautiful. Okay? I need not even meditate upon your entire form. I can just take your pada padma, meditate on it. Just to take your hip and meditate upon it. Just to take your vakshasthala and meditate upon it. They are so beautiful. Okay, they are enough for me to keep me engaged. Okay, so meditation is what, to be engaged in your beautiful form. Right? So this is enough. I don't even need your entire form. That is what Acharya seems to be saying. Agrimam shlokam. Vathama. Pulindesha kanya ghana bhogatunga. I'm stopping here, but it is a long samastapada. Just for the ease of chanting, I'm taking a pause here. Okay. Pulindesha kanya ghana bhogatunga.
Mahodaya, is it Tungaha or Tunga?
No. It is not Tungaha. It is Tungastanalingana. It's one long samastapada. Okay. So, but we can take a pause here for the ease of chanting.
Okay.
Now, Pulindesha kanya ghana bhogatunga.
Pulindesha kanya ghana bhogatunga. Pulindesha kanya ghana bhogatunga.
Stanalingana sakta kashmira ragam.
Stanalingana sakta kashmira ragam. Stanalingana sakta kashmira ragam.
Namasyamyaham tarakare tavoraha.
Namasyamyaham tarakare tavoraha. Namasyamyaham tarakare tavoraha.
Swabhaktavane sarvada sanuragam.
Swabhaktavane sarvada sanuragam. Swabhaktavane sarvada sanuragam.
Now try to chant the whole line. Okay, so both the padas together. Pulindesha kanya ghana bhogatunga stanalingana sakta kashmira ragam.
Pulindesha kanya ghana bhogatunga stanalingana sakta kashmira ragam. Pulindesha kanya ghana bhogatunga stanalingana sakta kashmira ragam.
Namasyamyaham tarakare tavoraha.
Namasyamyaham tarakare tavoraha. Namasyamyaham tarakare tavoraha.
Swabhaktavane sarvada sanuragam.
Swabhaktavane sarvada sanuragam. Swabhaktavane sarvada sanuragam.
Padachedam kurmaha. Pulindesha kanya. It's a very long compound. Pulinda Isha Kanya घन आभोग तुंगस्तन आलिंगन आसक्त काश्मीर ragam. So that becomes pulindesha. Pulinda isha becomes pulindesha. Kanya ghana bhoga, kanya ghana abhoga तुंगस्तन आलिंगनासक्त आलिंगन आसक्त काश्मीर रागम नमस्यामि अहम तारक अरे तारकारे तव उरहा स्वभक्त अवने सर्वदा स अनुरागम सानुरागम इति भवति. This is a beautiful shloka. So what does he say? Here Acharya prostrates to Muruga's Subramania's Vakshasthala. Okay. Tava uraha aham namasyami. So I prostrate to your Vakshasthala. Uraha. So even the other day I was mentioning it. Uraha. Urasa gacchati iti uragaha. Sarpaha. There is a paryaya pada for sarpa which is uraga. Okay. So uraha means what? Chest. Vakshasthala. Now, tava uraha, your vakshasthala, I am prostrating to. Okay. Aham namasyami. Now, how is this uraha? Giving a beautiful description of it. It says, Swabhakta avane sarvada sanuragam vartate tava idam uraha. This vakshasthala of yours, how is it? Sarvada, always. How is it? Sanuragam vartate. It is anuraga sahitam vartate. It is always with anuraga. Now, anuraga can mean many things. Okay, here it means compassion. Okay, it is full of compassion for the bhaktas. Okay, this vakshasthala, where vakshasthala in the sense not the physical chest but his heart. Okay, that is what we have to take. So his uraha, where his heart is, it is always overflowing with compassion for what? Swabhakta avane. Swabhaktanam avane. Avanam ityukte rakshanam ityartha. Okay. So I think it is a popular word. Even in Kritis we hear this, right? Mam avatu Shri Saraswati. Avatu ityukte mam rakshatu. Palayatu ityartha. So bhakta avane. In the protection of his devotees, he is always compassionate, ever ready to protect us, ever ready to take care of us. Such is his vakshasthala. Okay, he says that. Now, there are other arthas, okay, as well. We will come back to it once we finish the first pada. What is it? How is this vakshasthala of Subramanya? He is describing it like this. Pulindesha kanya ghana abhoga tungastana alingana asakta Kashmira ragam. See, his vakshasthala seems to be smeared with saffron. Okay. Kashmira raga. Raga means red. Okay. Again, raga can also have many arthas. Okay. Now, raga can mean attachment. Okay. But here, raga means red. Okay. No, because of Kashmira. See, saffron itself is called as Kashmira because we used to get it from Kashmir. Okay. So, Kashmira ragam. His chest seems to be smeared with the saffron. It is completely red. Why is it red? Acharya tells a karana for it. Why is your vakshasthala red? Okay, red in color because alingana asakta Kashmira ragam. Alinganena. Okay, because he has hugged. Okay, he has hugged somebody, and because of that, this Kashmira raga, this saffron, got attached to his chest also. Okay, he hugged somebody, and that somebody would have smeared Kashmira raga on their chest. Okay, from that, it has come to Muruga's chest. That is why it seems to be smeared with Kashmira raga. Alingana asakta. Asakta means attached. Right? So alinganena asaktam. Because of alingana, this got attached here. Okay, he did not go and smear it on his own, but because of alingana, his chest also is seems to be smeared with Kashmira raga. Now, whom did he go and hug? Okay, he hugged Pulindesha Kanya. Okay, So he embraced Pulindesha Kanya. Who is Pulinda Isha? Pulinda refers to, we can say, somebody who resides in the hills. Okay, so tribal person. Okay, so Valli's father, Valli belonged to, okay, the hunter clan, right? So Pulinda can refer to a hunter. Okay, Pulinda Isha, the head of the hunter clan. Okay, the tribe that lives on mountains is known as Pulinda. So Pulinda Isha, so the lord of that clan, his daughter was Valli. Right? So Pulinda Isha Kanya, he went and hugged her bosom. Okay, so stana is her bosom. Okay, so Kanya, and how is her stana? He describes that it is Ghana Abhoga Tunga stana. Okay, so Tunga is upright. Okay, it's so Tunga. Even yesterday we saw it, right? So Tungaha Tarangaha we saw in a shloka. So it means it is Tunga, and then Ghana Abhoga. Okay, Ghana means firm. And again means many things. Here it means firm, and abhoga is curved, okay, nicely round. Okay, such a stana belonging to Valli. Okay, Pulindesha Kanyayaha Ghanabhoga Tunga Stanasta. Okay, Stanayoho Alinganena. Okay, he has hugged her stana and she has smeared Kashmira Raga on her stana. Okay, so that just got attached to his chest as well. So such a chest, which is Kashmir Ragam, which is red, okay, because of saffron, that is ever filled with compassion for the protection of his devotees as well, is what he says. So Pulindesha Kanya Ghanabhoga Tunga Stanalinga Nasakta Kashmira Ragam Swabhaktavane Sarvada Sanuragam Tava Uraha Aham Namasyami. No. See, so Bhaktavane Sarvada Sanuragam. Here again, Sa Anuragam, it can also refer to the redness, right? I just said that Raga is red, okay? So it is Anuraga, means it is red because because the one whom he hugged had the reddishness, this got transferred to him. So again, this is red. Outside it is red, Anuraga. Okay, but inside also it has Anuraga, which is compassion. Okay, so there are two arthas that we can get from this Anuraga pada. So it is red outside. Physically, it is red. The physical chest is red, but his heart, which is not a physical entity, that is also filled with Anuraga. Okay, both the physical chest and the non-physical heart of Shanmukha are filled with Anuraga, one meaning red and the other meaning compassion. Such is his heart, and to that chest, okay, I prostrate, okay, I worship that Tava Uraha, Aham Namasyami. And how is he addressing Subramanya? He is saying, He Tarakare, okay, He Taraka Shatru, Tarakasuraha. Okay, his Shatru, his Ari was Subramanya, right? So the very birth of Subramanya was to destroy, okay, Tarakasura, right? So that is why the entire Kumara Sambhava Kavya written by Kalidasa is for this. Okay, Shiva and Parvati come together so that they can beget a child, okay, and he can destroy Tarakasura. So such a Tarakare, the Shatru of Tarakasura, O Skanda, I prostrate to your chest, your Vakshasthala. I worship it. Okay? That is what he says in this verse. I hope it is clear. Go to the next one. Vidhau klipta dandan. Kshamyatam. There's a mistake there. Okay, it's not dandan, it is dandan. Okay. Vidhau klipta dandan swalila dhritandan.
विधौ क्लिप्तदण्डान् स्वलीलाधृताण्डान् विधौ क्लिप्तदण्डान् स्वलीलाधृताण्डान्
निरस्ते भशुण्डान् द्विषत्कालदण्डान्
निरस्ते भशुण्डान् द्विषत्कालदण्डान् निरस्ते भशुण्डान् द्विषत्कालदण्डान्
हतेन्द्रारिषण्डान् जगत्राणशौण्डान्
हतेन्द्रारिषण्डान् शौण्डान्
शौण्डान्
हे हतेन्द्रारिषण्डान् जगत्राणशौण्डान्
सदा ते प्रचण्डान् श्रये बाहुदण्डान्
सदा ते प्रचण्डान् श्रये बाहुदण्डान् सदा ते प्रचण्डान् श्रये बाहुदण्डान्
विधौ क्लृप्तदण्डान् स्वलीलाधृताण्डान्
विधौ क्लिप्तदण्डान् स्वलीलाधृताण्डान् विधौ क्लिप्तदण्डान् स्वलीलाधृताण्डान्
निरस्ते भशुण्डान् द्विषत्कालदण्डान्
निरस्ते भशुण्डान् द्विषत्कालदण्डान् निरस्ते भशुण्डान् द्विषत्कालदण्डान्
हतेन्द्रारिषण्डान् जगत्राणशौण्डान्
हतेन्द्रारिषण्डान् जगत्राणशौण्डान् हतेन्द्रारिषण्डान् जगत्राणशौण्डान्
सदा ते प्रचण्डान् श्रये बाहुदण्डान्
सदा ते प्रचण्डान् श्रये बाहुदण्डान् सदा ते प्रचण्डान् श्रये बाहुदण्डान्
धन्यवाद.
धन्यवाद.
So now he has described his Pada Padma and then moved on to Kati and then Uraha Vakshasthala. Now he comes and describes his Bahavaha. Okay, and of course Shanmukha has Dvadasha Baha, right? So he's not just having two hands. Okay, so there are 12 hands to describe here. So he goes on to describe them. How does he do that? Vidhau क्लिप्तदण्डान् स्वलीलाधृत अण्डान् निरस्त इभशुण्डान् निरस्तेभशुण्डान् निरस्त इभशुण्डान् द्विषत् कालदण्डान् हतेन्द्रारिषण्डान्. How do we split that? Hata Indra becomes Hatendra, and then Hatendrari Hata Indra Ari Shandan Jagatraणशौण्डान् सदा ते प्रचण्डान् श्रये बाहुदण्डान्. That is how we do the Padacheda now. So how is he describing his Bahavaha? Bahu. How is it? He says Bahudandaan te shraye. So we saw this Shri Shraya Dhatu, Ashraya. That is the meaning. Okay, Ashrayane, Shri Shrayane, okay, means to take refuge in. So earlier I think he had used it in Bahuvachana Shrayamaha. He said, now he says Shraye, I take refuge in your Bahudandas, okay, in your hands. Okay, he is telling them not in Vivachana, in Bahuvachana, because Shanmukha has 12 hands. Right? So Te Bahudandan Sada Shraye. I am taking refuge in your Bahudandas always. Sada Shraye. Now, Bahudanda. Danda means what? Danda literally means stick. Okay. Now, the hand is like a stick. It means it is long. Okay. They are very, very long. So, usually they say that any Mahapurusha Lakshana, okay, suppose we hear Rama's description as he had Ajanu Bahu. Okay, so the one who had very long hands, okay, it almost touched his knees. Okay, Ajanu. Okay, so it crossed his knees, okay, and went until the Janu portion. Okay, the foreleg. Okay, so he had very, very long hands. So Mahapurushas tend to have very, very long hands. It's a Samudrika Lakshana. Okay, so Krishna, you hear Krishna's description. He has very long hands. Ajanu Bahu, etc. We always hear it frequently. So similarly, Shanmukha has long hands and he does not have just 2, he has 12 hands. So they bahudandan sadashraye. Now he is describing those bahudandas. How are they? What did they do? He Shanmukha. He have just added He Skanda, He Subramanya, Shanmukha. Now, how are these hands of yours? Vidhau klipta dandan. Now, what did they do? These hands punished Vidhi. Okay. Vidhi is Brahma. Of course, again, Vidhi means destiny also, but here it refers to Brahma. Vidhi. And Vidhi can mean an injunction, okay, a rule, that is also a Vidhi. Vidhau klipta dandan. So these hands of yours, they have klipta means I can say the ones that klipta means prepared, arranged. Okay, that is klipta. Now, Vidhi, Brahma, he was punished by Lord Subramanya. Okay, so that is a very famous Purana Katha that we hear, where once when Brahma came to Kailasa, Subramanya approached him, or he approached Subramanya, and they seem to have a conversation wherein Subramanya asks Brahma the artha for Pranava mantra, and Brahma does not know the answer. Okay. So he being the Srishtikarta and not knowing the meaning for Pranava, this angers Subramanya and he punishes Brahma. Okay. And after that, what happens is Lord Shiva comes there. Lord Shiva comes there and he asks Subramanya to release Brahma from captivity. He actually jails Brahma. Shiva asks Subramanya to release Brahma from captivity, and then Shiva requests, and then Subramanya asks Lord Shiva if he knew the artha for Pranava, and then Shiva, what he does is he wants to listen to the Pranava artha from his own child. So he becomes the Shishya for his own son, and he becomes Swaminatha. So that is a Puranic Katha that we all know. So he says, so Adi Shankara uses that, and he says here that your great hands, what did they do? They punished Vidhi. Vidhau klipta dandan. They ensured that Vidhi was punished for his flaw, for whatever flaw he had. He did not know the artha for Pranava. He was duly punished. So such bahudandas of yours that punished the Vidhi. That is the first Visheshana. Vidhau klipta dandan. So the ones that ensured punishment to Vidhi. Vidhau klipta dandan. Next one. Swalila dhrita andan. Okay. So see, Subramanya is the Jagat Bharta Rakshita. Okay. So he is the one who is protecting the universe. Okay. The andas. Okay. The andan means all the whole universe. Okay. All the different andas that are there. Okay. All the andas. He is Leelaya dhrita. Okay. All the andas he is easily managing. Leelaya dhrita. He has. He is bearing them on with his hands. Okay, so dhrita means what? To bear, okay, to take on his hands, and he is bearing the weight of all the worlds. Okay, and it is not a difficult task for him. He says, "Swa leela dhrita andam leelaya dhritaha." Okay, so these andas, all the worlds and all the whole universe is leelaya dhritaha. It is very playfully he is bearing all of it. Such bahudandas. Okay, so the next one. Nirasta Ibhashundan. So, see, this is one shloka, and Brahma and Adi Shankaracharya, he is recalling so many leelas of Subramanya in one shloka. So, one is the punishment given for Brahma, and then he also recalls Valli Kalyana. Okay, Nirasta Ibhashunda. So, what is the episode? So, to marry Valli, so Muruga comes and she is guarding, okay, her farm. Okay, so and he comes as an old man and he teases and plays around with Valli, and then Valli does not seem to realize who has come, and then what happens? He requests his elder brother Ganesha, who comes in the form of an elephant and scares Valli, and immediately Valli goes and takes refuge in this old man who is the only one available there, and then Subramanya reveals his real form to Valli, etc. It's a famous story, right? So he uses that katha here, and he says, these hands of yours, what have they done? they have defeated. Nirastaha means defeated. Nirasta Ibhashundan. Ibhaha means Gajaha. So Ibhashunda. Shunda means the trunk of the elephant. Okay, it means many things. Once again, see, Shunda here refers to the trunk of the elephant. Immediately in the next pada, Jagatrana Shundan. There it means something else. Okay, so let us come to that for now. Ibhashunda, Ibhasya Shunda, okay, refers to elephant's trunk. Okay, so Nirasta Ibhashundan Bahudandan Te Shraye. So I worship those bahus of yours which defeated the elephants. Okay. Okay, elephant. So defeating elephant, the episode is during the marriage of during Valli Kalyan, whatever is happening, because elephant in the form of, so Ganesha comes in the form of elephant, and he controls the elephant and saves Valli, okay, from the attack that the elephant was going to do. So Nirasta Ibhashundan, and then another one, Dvishat Kaladandan. So for the Shatrus, how is this Bahu of yours means? It is the very Kaladanda. Okay, it is the very Kaladanda. Kalaha here refers to Yama. Okay, Yama has a danda. Okay, that is Kaladanda itself is his danda is a representative of him only. Okay, it means what your time is over. That's all. Okay, so for the Shatrus, for the enemies, your Bahu dandas are like Kala dandas, like Yama's dandas. So once they encounter those dandas, they are gone, finished. Okay, so Dvishat Kala dandan. For the Shatrus, they are the Kala dandas. And then Hata Indra Arishandan. Okay, so Hata Indra Arishandan. So these hands, okay, destroyed Hata. Whom did they destroy? They destroyed Indra Ari. Okay, Indra Ari is the enemy to Indra. And Shanda, see again, Shanda, see that is Shunda, this is Shanda. Now, Shanda again refers to many things. It can mean a bull, okay, Rishabhaha ityarthaha asti, Napumsakaha ityapi arthaha asti, Samuhaha ityarthopi asti. So, Napumsakaha, Rishabhaha, and Samuhaha, you can take anything. Now here you can say Napumsaka because the Arivarga, they are not, see, the Muruga is the only Purusha in front of those Ari, in front of those Shatrus who become like Napumsakas, okay, who in front of Muruga. So you can say Shanda means a Napumsaka here. Or you can also say Samuha, okay, Ari Shanda means Ari Samuha, his entire group of Shatru, Simha, Mukha, Tarakasura, Shuraha, all of them were destroyed by them. So you can take Shanda to mean Samuha or Napumsaka here. So Hatha Indra Ari Shandan, and then Jagat Trana Shaundan. Okay. So they are very, very good, adept in what? Jagat Rakshana. Jagat Trana means what? Trana is protection. So these Bahudandas of yours are very, very adept. Okay, they are very good. Okay, in what? In protecting the world. Now Shaunda comes from Shunda only. Okay. Now Shunda can, I told you, it can refer to the trunk of an elephant. It can also refer to Veshya. Shunda ityukte Veshya ityarthopi asti. Sura Madhyapan ityapi arthaha vartate. So Shundayam Rataha Shaundaha. So Shaunda is somebody who is how do I describe that? Shaunda is somebody who is fully intoxicated. Okay. So Shundayam Rataha Shaundaha the artha. Now intoxicated, again we have to extend the meaning. It can also mean somebody who is extremely involved, right? Intoxication can also be extended to mean this, right? Who is very, very involved, deeply involved. Nobody can, move that person away from whatever he is involved in. Such a state is also known, such a person is also known as a Shaunda, who is very, very involved. So, in what is Muruga involved in? He is very, very particular in Jagat Rakshana. So, Jagat Trana Shaundan Te Bahudandan. So, your hands are extremely good, adept, and involved in protecting the world. Such Bahudandas that are Prachandan. So, Prachanda means what? Very, very powerful. Okay. So, Prachandan Te Bahudandan Aham Sada Shraye. I always take refuge in such bahudandas of yours. How are they? Once again, vidhau kripta dandan, the ones that have ensured that Vidhi is punished, okay, for his mistakes. And then those bahudandas that are bearing the universe in a very, very playful manner. It is not a big deal for those bahudandas at all. That they do the Jagad Rakshana, it's not a big deal. And then the ones that defeated the elephant, okay, Nirasta Ibhashundan, and then the ones that are nothing but Kaladanda for the Shatrus, and the ones that defeated Indra's Arisamuha, and then the ones that are involved in protecting the world, and the ones that are very powerful, such Bahudandas of yours, I take refuge in. That is the Tatparya. Hope it is clear. And now we can take questions, I think. Yes. प्रश्नाः सन्ति चेत् पृच्छन्तु. रेवती सुब्रह्मण्यन् महोदय.
नमस्कारः. नमो नमः.
नमस्कारः.
I really enjoyed your explanation.
धन्यवादः.
And your explanation of all the samasas is really very beautiful. So thank you very much.
धन्यवादः. धन्यवादः. प्रश्नः अस्ति चेत् पृच्छतु भगिनी. समयः नास्ति.
प्रश्नः नास्ति.
अस्तु अस्तु. धन्यवादः. धन्यवादः. वेंकटेश्वरन् महोदय.
I'm audible, madam?
Yes, please.
Yeah, I just want to make a comment.
Yes.
Recently, in the Kantra Anubhuti description by Sivachandran sir, he told, he made a comment. If normally we have 2 hands and 2 legs. 12 hands are there, 12 legs are there.
Okay.
But Buddha has only 2 legs. Why? Because if you have to catch the Pada Padmam, you cannot with the 2 hands catch 12 legs. That is why he's
okay. Yeah. This is a very nice explanation. I have heard it. धन्यवादः महोदय.
Thank you.
धन्यवादः. अस्तु. इन्दुकुमार महोदय.
हरि ओम नमस्ते भगिनी.
हरि ओम नमस्ते.
बहु सम्यक् पाठयति. एक रिक्वेस्ट अस्ति भगिनी. रिक्वेस्ट அது என்னன்னா நீங்க இப்போ சொல்லி கொடுக்கறீங்க இல்லையா நீங்க ஓகே சாரி
இல்ல நீங்க தமிழ்ல சொல்லலாம்.
ஓகே நீங்க சொல்லி கொடுத்து முடிச்ச அப்புறம் அந்த மீனிங் எல்லாம் சொன்ன அப்புறம் திருப்பி அந்த ஸ்லோகத்தை ஒரு வாட்டி படிச்சா இன்னும் நல்லா இருக்கும்னு எனக்கு தோணித்து. அப்போ அதை ரிலேட் பண்ணிக்க முடியும்னு தோணித்து. சமயः भवति वा अहं न जानामि.
अस्तु.
இல்ல ரிப்பீட் கூட யாரும் பண்ணல.
Her request was that if we can revisit the shlokas after completion, then I think I have to make it into 2 shlokas per class, which will become difficult for me, which will make it difficult to complete the course, but I will try. Okay. In fact, I was thinking if I can upload one audio wherein I can chant and repeat so that people, so that those interested can play the audio and try to practice at home. I wanted to do that, but my internet connection here is really a problem. So I am trying to fix it. So I will try to do it as early as possible. धन्यवादः.
अस्तु महोदय, धन्यवादः.
YKP इत्यस्ति. अन्म्यूट् करिष्यामि. पृच्छतु महोदय.
नमस्ते.
नमस्ते.
तत्र क्लुप्तदण्डान् इत्यस्ति खलु, तत्र क्लुप्त इति शब्दस्य कः अर्थः?
Klup, it will actually take the form as kalpate, etc. Okay. So klup iti dhatuhu. Okay, it means to arrange something, to prepare something. Okay. So ityadayah arthah bhavanti. Okay. So if I have to, because as such for the dhatu, what is the artha mentioned in the dhatu patha, I myself have to check. Okay, I will check and let you know. It means to make some arrange something, prepare something, okay, and to keep something ready, okay. So these are the arthas that are possible, okay. So if you want the exact artha as referred in the patha, I have to refer and come back.
Okay, thank you.
Ramamurthy Mahoday. I am sorry, Mahodaya, I cannot. It says this option is not available for you or something. So could you please type your question? I will take it.
Yeah, Bhagini. Meanwhile, there are some questions in the
I'm just seeing them.
Yeah.
Oh, there seems to be a lot of questions. Okay.
They are all simple ones, Bhagini.
Okay. Okay. 12th shloka also gives done by the hand, and second describes the generic act done by the hand, similar to for such form of poetic expression. Such form of poetic expression, I do not know what you exactly mean. But anyway, now that you have mentioned, I wanted to actually say this, that this is actually a type of alankara which is known as ullekha alankara. So we saw Virodha Bhasa in the first shloka, and then we saw Rupaka. So this is a nice alankara. It's called ullekha. Ullekha means nothing but description. Okay. So see, one particular entity here, the Bahu Dandas, the Bahus of Subramanya, they are described in many ways, right? So they are the ones that punished Vidhi, the ones that are bearing the words, and the ones that are doing something else like this. So one entity is described in many ways, okay? So there is a popular shloka in Krishna Karnamrita, which most of you might have heard, okay? So I think it comes in Bhagavata also, I'm not sure, but see, the Krishna Karnamrita shloka is what I remember. It says, Mallai Shailendra Kalpaha Shishuritarajanaif Pushpachaponganabihi Gopaistu Prakritatma Divi Kulishabhrita Vishwakayo Prameyaha Kruddhakam Sena Kalo Bhayachakita Drisha Yogi Dhirdhyaya Murtihi Drishto Rangavatare Hari Ramara Ganananda Krit Patu Sosman. It's a shloka which says that when Krishna was entering the Ranga, okay, so he was visiting Kamsa for the first time. Okay, he was going to meet Kamsa and destroy and kill him. Okay, so when he was entering the Ranga, when there were the 4 Malla Yuddha Veeras who came and fought with Krishna and Balarama, it is that episode. So when he enters the Ranga, so the place where the Malla Yuddha was going to happen, how did different people look at Krishna? So they say that the Mallas, to him, he appeared as a big mountain. Shailendra Kalpaha, and then the others saw him that he was an ordinary kid or something, and then all the women there, they saw him as Manmatha himself. Okay, and the Gopa is to Prakritatma, the Gopas taught him to be an ordinary cowherd boy. Okay, and then all the celestial devas who were watching this episode, they saw him as Vishwakayaha Aprameyaha. Okay, he was the Adi Purusha, etc. And then Kamsa witnessed him as Kala himself, as though Yama was coming. Okay, and then yogis, the ones who were there, they saw Krishna as the very form of, as the very supreme Brahman whom they are meditating in their hearts. Okay, etc. So this is a popular alankara. Okay, so I just recalled this shloka to say that this is also ullekha, where one Krishna is described as many. Okay, in many ways. Similarly, this Bahudanda, okay, is described in many ways. Okay, so that is ullekha alankara. So I think this is what I wanted to say. I had forgotten. Shloka 12, line 2. Can you please explain again? What is line 2? Nirastebha Shundan Dvishat Kaladandan. So the ones that have defeated, Nirasta, defeated. What did they defeat? His Bahudandas have defeated Ibhashunda, the trunks of elephants. Okay, it's the trunk of one elephant only, because it is an adjective. The adjective goes to Bahudandan, it is in Bahuvachana. Does not mean he destroyed many elephants. Okay, just one Ibhashunda. Okay, and the Bahudandas destroyed the Ibhashundas. That is why they are Nirastebhashundan. And then Vishat Kaladandan for the Dvit. Okay, for the Shatrus, they are the very Kaladandas, Yamas Danda. They are the very Lord of Death. Okay, so that is the second. Okay, line. So niraste bhushundan dvishat kaladandan. Then okay. So kindly clear the doubt. Lord Ganesha is elder or Subramanya is elder? In the south, Lord Ganesha is elder. In the north, Subramanya is elder. That is the answer. Okay. So Niraste Bhashundan. Yeah. Okay. So Nirasta Ibhashundan. Nirasta defeated. Ibha elephant. Shunda trunk. Okay. So the ones in the sense the hands that destroyed, that defeated the trunk of the elephant during the Valli marriage episode. Okay. And then yeah, it is not Dhana Bhoga Tunga, it is Ghana Bhoga Tunga only. Okay, Ghana. Okay, Ghana means thick. Okay. Here in the case of Busam, it means firm. Okay, what do you mean by paripaya padam? No, I think it is pariyaya padam. It is synonym. Okay, is it to be recited as ghana bhoga? Lasat dhema patta. Is this how we split? Yes, that is how you split. Lasat dhema patta. Lasat hema patta. Okay, having faith, beauty. Okay, yeah, I think it is okay. Astu. Dhanyavadaha. I think we can end the class here, right? Bhagini? I think we can
Bhagini, yeah. Thanks, it was a wonderful session. Yeah, nice replies, nice answers. Thank you so much. So rest of the questions, we have tried to answer all the questions almost. So whatever is remaining, you can please mail to us. And the next class will be day after tomorrow. Please join us. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Bhagini.
Dhanyavada.